We are reading the mystery novel, Turn Back. We are on chapter 10, The Petition. It's very late in the night, nearly early morning. She's not sure what time it is really, but Rebecca can't sleep. She looks around. One lone strip of light comes in under the door. She sees shoes shuffling past her door and hears the sound of heels clicking against the wood floors. The person wearing those shoes goes on down the hall corridor. Rebecca slips out of bed. She kneels down at the start of the bed and grabs her teddy bear, the only thing in the world that reminds her of her normal life. On second thought, she places the bear by the bed on the floor with her. It's not a tall bear, so it has to stand and not kneel. She makes its stubby hands fold together in prayer. No fingers it has, so after a few attempts, she gives up, thinking God will understand. The little girl looks upward. She sees the ceiling and hopes God has x-ray eyes and can see through the roof. She sighs and doesn't know how that all works, but has to try something. She's desperate. This little 6-year-old girl begins to pray. The nuns say you are up there in heaven, but I need you down here now. I sure hope you have good hearing too, because it's a long way to heaven, I think. Planes don't even get up that high, or rockets either. I don't think so anyway. The kid looks over at her bear. She shushes it because it has tried to distract her from her mission. I know my daddy gets really mad at my mommy sometimes, but he's sick and he feels really awful these days. Maybe you heard my other prayers for daddy? I'm grumpy when I'm sick. My mommy cries a lot these days. Probably she's crying right now. She needs a big hug from me. Rebecca listens for any sound of someone stirring outside her door. I have to keep really quiet because they will make me go back to sleep. So please help my mommy be happy and my daddy feel better. She grabs her teddy bear. You were very good. Thank you for praying with me. Maybe I should have left you at home with mommy so she wouldn't be so lonely. The teddy bear's arms go around her neck. See, like this. Mommy likes that when I give her big bear hugs. She looks up to the ceiling again. Please give my mommy a big bear hug for me tonight. Amen. Chapter 11, The Plan. Highlights blur his visibility, reflecting off the dirty windshield. Henry sleeps in the back seat. Kitty wakes from dozing. She watches Victor. He's nodding and yawning a lot. He isn't even aware she is awake and watching him. If you just tell me where we're going, I'd drive and let you rest for a while. Oh, you're so considerate. No, we'd end up right back at your place. I'm not considerate at all. I just don't care to be like roadkill. Not sleepy? Right. And you're exhausted, to be more precise. Haven't slept in like 24, no, maybe 36 hours now. And the little lady wins another prize. Kitty stretches. Victor realizes how every muscle is tensed up being so long behind the wheel. He shifts around a bit to try to get comfortable. She combs her short hair. So you can't or won't tell me what this is all about. Vicky, aren't you forgetting about Henry? Hey, you picked him up, Stewie. For what reason, I really do not know. Did you honestly think I'd just sit here twiddling my thumbs? What's really going on here, Vic? Victor glances over at Henry, who's snoring away. Listen, like I said, the less you know, the better it is for you. I got into some trouble, a big debt, and I got to pay it back. I got a barter with him. Serious stuff. That's all I can tell you. She thinks for a moment and starts to ask some questions. Shouldn't you have left me back there? Shouldn't you have gone it alone? Alone? I mean, I'm dragging along with you when I should know nothing. I'm just slowing you down, and that could make me accomplice or something. Not going to take you with me to do that job. Victor begins to sweat. She picks up on the fact that he is upset over letting her have that much info. Kitty thinks on that a few more miles. She can tell he's to his limit and will need to crash soon. She figures she is his best option for staying awake at the wheel at this point in their journey. I've known you for a little over 3 months. What did you do in this short amount of time to cause such a serious change? I do not understand why I'm even with you. I probably never will. Wait, what do you mean? Don't know why you are with me in this car or with me? Both, I guess. How serious is this mess you've gotten yourself into? He smiles, remembering some good times he's had with her. Kitty looks at him and sees Victor smiling, figuring he's so tired he's not thinking straight. She just peers out the window. Some fun times we've had, huh? Now, well, I just need a plan, a decoy. He looks in the back seat. Enter Henry. They glance back there again. Henry is still snoring away. Kitty looks at him and wonders if they really do know each other after all. Henry's your ticket out of this, Vicky. I'll pay him enough to take you far away until this blows over. Until what blows over? Sounds like a storm's coming. Like I said before, might want to color your hair too. Maybe make it darker. A new car, new hairdo, and new color. A new guy, Henry. He's your ticket, all right. Thanks for explaining that much to me. Now I'm more confused than ever. What are you going to tell Henry? Do you really think that he'll be okay with going along with your little plan and being your decoy? Or whatever? Victor reaches into his jacket. He pulls out several $100 bills, waving them in her face. She is startled and thinks he may have robbed a bank. Everyone has their price. Henry will get paid well to take you as far as this gets both of you. It's his lucky day. Won't turn this down if I know anything about a runaway or a hitchhiker. Who'd give a ragged hitchhiker a ride and then offer them all this money besides? Kitty cannot believe he's planning to leave her with a perfect stranger. It's all too much for her. She begins to scream. No, you can't do this to me. Vic clamps his hand over her mouth once again. He looks over his shoulder to see that Henry hasn't budged an inch. In an instant, he gets jealous. The rider gets to sleep away, but he doesn't. You are officially a crazy man. Talk about good times we've had and then make plans to sell me off to a stranger. Be nice. Okay, maybe a master murderer, possibly. After he slits my throat, after indulging in some previously unexplored rough treatment of me, and then what? Take off with this sad excuse of a car and all your money and will leave me stranded on another lone stretch of highway that he's probably quite familiar with doing? Victor realizes he has no real basis to reassure her that it wouldn't happen just like that. He doesn't look at her, but only stuffs the wad of money back into his jacket. He feels it's safer there, as money normally belongs in one's wallet. Besides, a decoy is someone who lures someone else under false pretenses. So someone is after you, and now after me? And you're going to pull Henry into it too? Kitty is coming up with some really good assumptions, and it makes Victor nervous. Henry isn't the decoy. You'll figure it out. I'm a good judge of character. We can trust Henry. I just know it. I sense it. He'll do what I ask him to do. Wish I could say the same for me about you. Doing what I ask? Ha! What? No. Being a good judge of character. Apparently I am not. Henry stirs then. He raises up, stretches, takes off his cap, and brushes his finger through his wild hair. A cold chill hits him, and he shivers like an odd spasm has overtaken him. You okay back there, Henry? Not getting sick, are you? Victor asks with concern. Nope, just got a chill. Where are we? Outside the Indiana state line, and we're headed west. So guess. Illinois. Got that directional issue all worked out, did you? Nothing is worked out, Henry. Not one thing. Not one, Kitty fumes. I'm beginning to think the problem is not the direction of the highway you're taking, but it's your personal direction in your relationship. And since I'm being open and honest, the problem is not at all Stu here either, Vicky. Don't ever call me Vicky again. She's still fuming. Henry holds up his hands in surrender, scratches his head again, smells under his armpits, looks around for any billboard signs along the highway. You two ever consider a motel in your traveling plans? I'll pay, no problem there. My parents, well, they gave me enough for me to be gone all summer. Nice of them to do that. And that's what you'd likely say, but really it's not that at all. They just don't like me all that much. Might love me a little. After all, I am blood. Not too sure about that, though. But do they like me? No, not so much. Neither knows what to say in response to Henry's openness. It's a sad admission that he just laid on them. Victor tries to blow him off and goes back to Henry's suggestion. Henry, that's a great idea. We'll take you up on your generous offer. Miles past, they see a state line sign finally, Missouri. A few miles on up there is a billboard offering 5 choices of motels. Victor pulls off the highway into the closest parking lot. Henry goes inside and, not thinking, he reserves only 2 rooms. He comes out and probably holds up 2 keys. 1 room for you two and 1 for me. Correction, 1 room for me and 1 for you two, don't you mean? Kitty corrects him and grabs one of the key cards. Actually, I was thinking 1 room for me and 1 for the 2 of you. He feels it's his right since he paid. Victor snaps at Kitty as they reach in the opposite back doors to get their meager bags out of the auto. I've got to get some shut-eye. The car keys, the money, the plan are all on me. No credit cards in your wallets or cash. So you'd not get too far. Go soak in the tub and get a good night's sleep. Easy for you to say. I'm the one who's going to be stuck with him. Kitty snaps back. I'll go through his things and make sure there's no knives, guns, drugs, whips, syringes, things like that. Nothing for him to rough you up with. Don't put yourself out for me. I mean, what's it to you if I end up dead? You really don't get it, do you? This is why I'm doing all of this, Kit, so you won't end up dead. Victor slams the rear passenger door. Kitty is stuck by that comment, sighs, and grabs her bag. She realizes she has no idea what items Vic has put in there. Victor and Henry enter the room next to hers. As the 3 go inside to their respective rooms, Henry is stunned why the couple traveling together won't want to share a room together. Well, this is awkward. Must have been some doozy of an argument between the 2 of you. Chapter 12, The Layover. Henry hadn't planned it, but there are 2 full-size beds in the room. The guys are thankful for that, as both realize neither one knows the other one at all very well, let alone their sleeping habits. Each stares at the ceiling in near darkness. Victor is so exhausted he plans to be asleep before his head hits the pillow. But being uncertain about his roommate, Victor begins to imagine the same scenario Kitty had earlier suggested about their hitchhiker. Henry breaks the deafening silence in the room. It's weird. Tell me about it. Okay, I will. No, I meant... Never mind, go ahead. Well, I travel around and I meet all kinds of people, but you two, you're really different for some reason. It's almost like you're on the run or something. Victor gets choked and coughs. Why do you say that? I don't know, just a feeling. You're not settled, you're both restless, both of you are tense, seriously whispering to one another all the time. Maybe it's just that way with your relationship, I don't know. No response from Victor. Maybe you want out. Is that it, Stu? You want out of this relationship? Again, no response. Sorry, I like to try to figure out the people I'm around. A little game I play with myself. It's none of my business. I know that's what you'll say. I don't want out, Henry. I want her safe. You see, she has this very possessive father. He's, quite violent, and I want her away from all that. She's not happy not being here and not getting away. Just not happy either way. You know how it is. But what do you see in her, man? If it were me, I'd be out. I'd want out. Henry sits up, turns on the light. Victor wants to just go to sleep. He shields his tired eyes. Henry's not being considerate. and continues, man, this is really getting weirder and even weirder. First, we are both going on a road trip and both going somewhere, but neither is nowhere. And now I learn you're taking her away from an abusive situation. That's why I'm on my own, too. They pay me to leave their house so they won't kill me. Victor laughs out loud in surprise. He sits up and stares at Henry. Henry only shrugs, like it's just that way for him in his situation. Victor has totally misunderstood. Are you a bad person, Henry? Henry laughs and then sighs. Now he's staring down Victor. Typical. It's because of the way I look, right? You've labeled me. What are you talking about? Well, I tell you, they want to kill me, and you ask me if I'm a bad person in this scenario. Oh, sorry. I'm the orphan here, man. Have 2 very successful parents, but I'm an orphan. Kicked out of my own home. Man, go figure, people. Thought you might understand, Stu. I really did. Sorry, Henry, I'm just tired. I'm really tired, not thinking straight. Hardly able to think at all. Victor yawns. Maybe Victoria is right about you. I mean, she knows you better than I do, that's for sure. Who? Your girl, Vicky. She's said not to call her that name anymore, so not going to make that mistake, so Victoria it is then. Oh, yeah, right. Victoria, is that her first name? Got to tune in to her needs, Stu. You're too rough with her, and I know rough when I see it. Yeah? Experimental with the girls, you say? Rough and tumble Henry, huh? Vic quizzes him for any additional info he can get concerning his suspicions about Henry. Henry again shakes his head in disbelief. He looks down and sighs. Not like that, Stu. No, you do it with your words, your harsh tone. I know rough when I see it and when I hear it. Listen, Henry, I'm a little stressed right now and very, very tired. Let's just call it a night, okay? Got to get some sleep. Sure thing, Stu. We'll talk in the morning. Victor tries his best to stay awake. Henry is snoring away shortly after that, and he snores most of the night. Victor finally goes to sleep and later wakes up in the early hours of the morning. He doesn't turn on any lights. He finds Henry's bags. He slips his hands inside but doesn't feel anything sharp or metal. He feels around and does find a bottle of pills. In the dark, he can't read the label. Sounds cause him to freeze in place, and then he slowly turns around. Henry is sitting up in bed, looking his way. Find anything you like in there? I just had to make sure, Henry. You understand, crazy world out there and all. Aren't you going to ask me what those pills are for? Well, it looks to be a prescription, maybe? Bingo. Neither say much as they both get showers and shave. The sun is barely starting to come up in the window of the motel room. Henry hears his stomach calling to him. Man, I'm hungry. You? Starved. They knock on the door to Kitty's room. She answers, still a sleepy mess. Both turn away as she hasn't a gown on, just her light PJs. Their modest gestures make her feel a little better about the 2 men she's riding with for some odd reason. Leaving so soon? Give me a sec, please. Doors close. The door closes, but not all the way. She's back in less than 5 minutes. Her short hair is wet, and she finishes buttoning her blouse. They head to a cafe next to the motel. And now, we're on day 3. Kitty turns to Victor. What did you say? It's the 3rd day of our road trip, that's all. Chapter 13, The Twist. Michael waits for the bartender to unlock the door. He steps inside with him. It's early, too early. The bartender knows Michael has to wonder what's up with him. The bartender knows Michael and has to wonder what's up with him to come to him this early in the day. Michael doesn't say a word, just goes over and plops down on one of the bar stools. The bartender knows that the place doubles as his office, and so he waits, knowing something has to be wrong for Michael to show his face in broad daylight. Getting an early start on happy hour? Yeah, maybe. Maybe a therapist might be better? Yeah, but then I'd have to kill him. Both laugh, knowing Michael is dead serious. You going to fill me in or what? You got me in here now. Michael sits at the bar, rubs his hand over the polished finish, and can see his reflection. He doesn't like himself much at the moment, so he looks up and away. The bartender prepares a shot and washes wine glasses for customers, setting each in each rows. There are the only two people in there at the moment. The man places an empty glass in front of his friend. Michael decides to take him up on his offer. Shot of whiskey with a beer chaser? Sounds serious. Got this fella, a friend of mine. He wants a thing done, a job, you know. Normally I don't get involved. It's just a job. I keep my head down, I do the job. Now, I don't know. I just need some advice, I guess. The bartender shines the shot glasses, gets most of the spots off. He shakes his head up and down, listening. Michael waits for him to respond. The bartender waits for Michael to tell him more. So Michael continues. This one guy determined to get it done ASAP, and now I think that I may have complicated some things, and I need to stop him. The bartender then stops doing his thing, remembers seeing Michael conversing with a known hitman. He puts the towel over his shoulder and the shot glass down on the counter and slides it out of their way. He then leans in closer to Michael, resting one elbow on the counter, and now he's all ears. See, I don't know. I've been working for this man a long, long time, and it's not about the money. It's not even about the loyalty. It's not an issue of any of that. Not with my employer, not anymore. Has cancer. It's going to take him out sooner than later. So now, which fella has... Michael realizes the bartender could put two and two together and come up with real names. It doesn't matter. Just listen, okay? Sure. Okay, Michael. I'm listening. Michael takes another sip, makes a face, and then downs the whole shot. He follows the ice-cold chaser down his throat. He loosens up before it even has time to take effect. Don't know what that new guy is going to do exactly, how he's going to do it. So what do I do? That's my basic dilemma, you see? Yeah, I see. Yeah, I got a real big dilemma with this job. Can't afford the luxury of morals. Not in my position. Not in my line of work, you know. I knew that going into it. Hasn't ever bothered me before, but now? Got cold feet there, Mike? What? No, not that. That's why I'm here. The bartender throws out a remark just to be saying something. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm here for you, Mike, oh boy. And then I had to go and complicate things and bring in an expert on this deal. One too many, huh? Yeah. I need to what? I need to warn someone? I need to tell him to watch his back? Then, too, there's this innocent little, this puppy. Two, actually. Two could get really hurt and put in the middle. Already have been to some degree. Why do I go and make it more complicated for the poor little pooch? Yeah, you're right. The bartender is not following at all, but he just plays along. Selfish jerk. One's causing a big problem. What? Spare those cute little poodles some tears, maybe? Maybe that's what I should do. The bartender is clueless, but he goes along and agrees with Michael. Sounds like you know what you need to do. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? The bartender sees this as his cue to step up and a way to make some extra cash. He smiles, holds up a shot glass to inspect it. He looks through it at Michael. It's like a load is lifted off the man, and he eyes Michael through the beveled glass and squints to see him clearer. Michael leans closer, senses the bartender is on to a great idea. The bartender says, "The doctor is in, and I have the perfect prescription." Yeah? Michael is all smiles. I can solve at least one of your big problems. No odor, no taste, definitely no cloudiness. Yeah, clear as crystal. Not too expensive either. I mean, how can you put a price on peace of mind for that little puppy, right? That's the end of chapter 13. We'll go into chapter 14 in the next audio reading of the mystery and thriller Turn Back.